If this watch says 748, it's 748. It's a $200 watch.
Fence tell you that?
Hey, look at this. That's rank. We've got better looking stuff here in the building.
Hey, kid. Maybe you ought to do some real work.
You wouldn't believe this chick I went out with.
You look out of shape.
5'8" and 125 pounds. Real slender from the waist down, and this incredible pair of
Morning,
ancient
gentlemen.
Chinese ginger jars. Ming Dynasty. Unbelievable.
Hi, Mike.
Morning, Chief.
Tony.
Morning, Chief.
Hi, Chief. Oh, morning, Jill. Here are the status reports from 004 through 009, plus the feedback from the DA's office on the Wilson case. Thanks. Hi, Sam.
Hi. Well, looks like red is what the well-dressed detective is wearing this season.
You're the first to know. I've got a problem with this, Sam.
I didn't write a word that wasn't true.
We'll call her Louise. She's a prostitute. Louise has worked at her profession for 6 years. She's never been arrested. I used to be really uptight about getting busted, she told this reporter. But I learned if you just keep it cool, the vice won't hassle you. Most of them are pretty nice guys once you get to know them.
So?
You give the impression the department condones prostitution by ignoring it, and that some of our officers may be even more deeply involved. You don't bother to correct that impression in the rest of the article.
Well, I've got no axe to grind. My editor gives me an assignment to do the best job I can.
Even if it means undermining public faith in the police.
If I could have integrated a counter-argument into that column, I would have.
Why couldn't you?
How long have you been chief of detectives, Amy? Where did you come from? Juvenile. Have you ever shot another human being in the course of duty? Do you really believe that you know what happens in this department that you inherited from Chief Dempsey?
Sam, if you know something I don't, now's the time to tell me.
All right. All right. How about lunch later in the week?
Let's. I'll call you.
That's a deal. I tried, Amy. None of your men would open up to me. Not one.
There's something about that man that makes
I
me
know
want
what
to,
you mean. Sometimes you've got to help me out. Rod, what do you know about the arrest rate for prostitution, common drunk, homosexuality, victimless crimes in general, say over the last 6 months?
0. Nothing.
Find out for me, will you?
Sure.
See you tomorrow, Jim. Take care. Hey, into the line, let's go.
you'll be late.
I know.
Drive carefully.
Please. What do you want?
Honesty, courtesy, trust, coffee, whack. Where's Tatum?
He ain't here.
Well, he pays the rent.
Yeah, but I ain't seen him.
Ain't seen him since when?
I don't know. Maybe yesterday?
Maybe isn't good enough, so why don't you be a good citizen and tell me where he is?
You got a warrant?
I left it in my other pants. You want to throw me out? Where's Tatum? Come on, I'm a busy man. I want to talk to Tatum now.
I ain't seen him since yesterday. He went out around 8, said he was gonna have a drink. That's all I know. That better not be a toll call.
What was he wearing the last time you saw him?
You know, shirt, pants.
Forget it. Parkins, 3rd Division. I want an APB on Jess Tatum. Male, Caucasian, 42.
According to these figures, arrests are up 80% for arson, robbery, crimes of violence in general, but only up 7% for so-called victimless crimes.
So who's complaining, the PTA?
I want to know why, Rod.
What are you gonna do, make a simus out of this?
Why don't we discuss that after you've looked into it?
You guys sitting on your thumbs around here.
What are you talking about? Hey, wait, why don't you wait on it,
I
Pete?
want to see her now.
What do you want from me, blood?
If that's all I can get, I'll take it.
Don't stand on ceremony. Come right in.
4 hours ago, I put an APB out on that guy. 4 hours! Somebody around here knew he was dead since 3 in the morning. Nobody tells me. You're in charge. What am I supposed to do? Consult a soothsayer? That man, Tatum, was my key witness. He was this far away from cracking. I've been on the case a month, and nobody tells me he's been snuffed.
The medical examiner says he died of a heart attack, Bill.
Anybody can make a mistake.
Aren't you reaching for something?
Yes, I'm reaching for something. It's part of the job. No, you get a feel for this kind of thing. And my gut tells me Tatum was murdered.
Okay. Square your preconception with the autopsy, build a case, and make it stick. If you need help, grab somebody from homicide.
You think I'm winging it, don't you? I can smell murder. And if you had the instincts of a cop, you'd see it in letters 10 feet high.
Joan, send in Tony if he's still out there. What do you know about that industrial fraud case Parkins has?
Practically nothing.
Get up on it.
Right away.
Tim Feeney, please. Tim Feeney. Please see the supervisor in his office. Mr. Tim Feeney to the supervisor's office, please.
I suppose you heard we've been absorbed by an out-of-state firm, Tim, so I won't even go into that. Anyway, they have certain plans for us. With inflation, with the international situation, certain changes have to be made. We have to let you go, Tim.
But I've been here for...
Believe me, Tim, I know if I had anything to say about it, this wouldn't have happened.
Why me?
Well, we need men that are skilled at several jobs. It's something that's called interfacing. Well, if you were more versatile, this wouldn't have happened.
Versatile.
I'm sorry, Tim. Here's a letter of recommendation. 2 months severance pay is waiting for you at the cashier. And good luck.
This Parkins gig you asked Tony about, it's industrial espionage. C&G Industries specializes in hardware, and they claim that one of their competitors, Rocketware, stole a design of a new wrench. Now, Parkins was on to one of their employees, a guy by the name of Tatum, who you know was found dead.
Well, murdered, according to Bill.
Right. Now, Tatum had a line on one of C&G's VPs, a guy by the name of Whitman. Now, Parkins has a figure that Whitman did away with Tatum when things were getting too hot.
Ross Whitman?
Right.
Is that all?
Why, you want more?
What's Tony's problem?
Got him on the horns, Amy. He was very tight with Bill until you took over.
Why should he have it any better than the rest of us? Bye, Rod. I'll see you in the morning.
Okay.
I can't hear you. Oh, Tim.
You like him, baby?
Oh. Oh, you better put him in some water. There's a base right above the dishwasher.
Did you have a good day?
Oh. I'm just about finished with Mrs. Fisher's stuff. You want to take me over there?
Sure, I got Eddie's truck.
Where's the car?
That crapped out. Well, it never was any good. Towing place only gave me $45 for it.
Oh, Tim.
Don't worry about it, honey. I'll get another one in the next couple of days. And Eddie's on the production line, so I've got his truck.
A truck. What do we do with the truck?
Well, the truck's a tool, huh? You can make money with it. Look at Eddie. He made $9,000 last year. And you can do freight and hauling.
When have you got time for that, I'd like to know.
I quit the plant.
You what? You what? What did you say, Tim? You what?
All right, Enid. They fired me. I couldn't interface.
Oh, Tim. Oh, poor Tim.
The seniority didn't matter. Nothing mattered. I just wasn't versatile enough for him.
Oh, it's not fair, Tim. It's just not fair. Oh, no.
Well, you overload the circuit with those appliances and things.
Oh, I hate this place. I hate it.
Don't worry, honey. I'll fix it. It's no problem.
Oh, what's happening to us, Timmy? What's happening to us? What's happening to our lives?
Don't worry, honey. I'll take care of it. Just trust me. I know what I'm gonna do. I'll take care of everything.
begin with, I'm going to make the standard Y-shaped incision. Okay. The bones of the anterior rib cage and the sternum are removed with great ease.
Hey, Doc, give me a break, will you? I got things to do.
Well, so do I. Him and 6 more.
We all got it tough.
All right. Are removed with great ease because a number of the pellets have broken through at several points, and the bones are friable.
All I want is some information about a stiff you did up the other day at Jess Tatum.
Tatum. Oh, the coronary.
He was murdered.
If a man's body betrays him, we call it death by natural causes, not murder.
Yeah, well, my mistake. What I want to do is see Tatum's body and have you tell me about it. This cardiac arrest business doesn't necessarily mean a natural death.
No. There are chemicals which can cause it, or electric shock. The pathology, however, obviates such conclusions.
What about this? Alcohol, 5 parts per 100.
The man drank. That's all.
Yeah, people die from that, right?
Every day of the week. There would have been other indications of tissue deterioration in an alcoholic. It's a matter of degeneration rather than insult.
Look, Doc, I know this man was murdered. What I don't know is how. You wanted me?
Does the name O'Brien mean anything to you?
Sounds familiar.
R.E. O'Brien. Isn't he one of ours?
R.E. Yeah, maybe that's, Ralph O'Brien. Works at a Potrero.
There's an R.E. O'Brien on this report that found the body of a Jess Tatum. If that O'Brien and our O'Brien were the same person, it would be on the report, wouldn't it?
Yeah, should be. You know how it is, mistakes get made.
Explain it to me.
It's the same O'Brien.
Was there some reason he was in a cable car at 6 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, he works for the company.
Rod, I want you to check out each division and find out how many men have other employment.
Are we gonna bring charges?
For now, I just want to know how widespread this problem is.
Whatever you say.
Mocha Java. Wait till you taste it, Chief. You'll love it. No, we can't afford it, but I won the football pool this month. Something bothering you?
I just wish they'd trust me more.
Let me guess. I've been promoted, and you came to tell me personally.
Your fantasy, not mine.
Win some, lose some. Stay away from the pastrami. It's murder.
How's the coffee?
Nobody died yet. Hey, Max, bring a lady a cup of coffee on me. Max is my brother-in-law's cousin. That means he charges me double.
What's family for? The man you found on the cable car? He was a potential witness in a fraud case out of Bunko.
Yeah. My lucky day, right? Okay. You backtracked and found out I've been moonlighting, right? Well, I never shorted the department. And that's a fact.
I know. But that's not the point, and both of us know it. It may never happen. But someday, because you're tired from holding down 2 jobs, you could make a mistake. It could be fatal. Your life, your partner's, somebody else's. Then what?
Look, I got a wife and 4 kids. You know what I get paid. A garbage man makes this much. And you know what my hours are. Well, I want more for my family because with me, they come first. And I don't know any way out except what I've been doing. Do you understand?
Do a lot of the men feel that way?
Not many. Most of the guys play it straight.
I want to thank you for the coffee. Tell Max I've never tasted anything like it.
Neither's anyone else. You know, if we weren't related, I'd run him in.
Tell your boss I'd like to see him, okay, honey?
Detective Parker, isn't it?
Kins. Parkins. K-I-N-S.
Detective Parkins to see you. Would you like to sit down?
How are you, Lieutenant? Listen, I haven't got time to chat
Well,
right
I'm
now. I
afraid
be
you're going to
across
have
town
to
in
make
15
time. It's important.
Wait a minute. I've given you as much of my
It's
spare time as I
important to
could
me,
during
to
your
you, to your business, to the state of California.
Lieutenant,
to
I
the
have a
Attorney
business to
General.
run, and unless I get across town right now, I'm likely not to be in business.
I have a
this time
business, too.
tomorrow.
It's called murder.
Just a minute. Whoa. I should have learned enough about you by now to realize it's pointless arguing with you. Give me a minute to make a phone call, will you? I'll just be a moment.
Doesn't that light up?
Oh, yes.
Hey, you turkey! Police! Hey, police! Get it down!
Enid, open the window. Open the window.
Go round to the front.
Open the damn window!
Let all the warm air out.
That blowtorch you got's warm enough.
You leaving now, honey?
Yeah, throw me a kiss for luck.
Everything's gonna be all right, isn't it, Timmy?
Sure, baby, don't worry. I told you not to worry.
I don't mean to nag at you. I just... Oh, never mind. Don't be late.
All right!
Something up? Chief Dempsey wants to see you at 1:30 in his office, and Mrs. DeLuca called. You've been scratched as a speaker at the police wives' luncheon.
Guess I'm not colorful enough.
You've been replaced by the sheriff of Tulare County. He's going to talk about the problems of rural law enforcement.
At least I won't have to eat the chicken supreme.
Or the strawberry surprise. Sorry, Chief.
What it boils down to is this. Councilman Cardulo is up for re-election and looking for an issue. Now, there are a lot of areas he could pick, but my information says he's after us.
You mean he's after me?
Did you ever know a politician who'd take a shot at a moving target when he could find a sitting duck?
Is that the way you see me?
Amy, I have every confidence in you. You're doing a good job. But if it comes to a choice between you and the department...
All right. As far as I know, there are no skeletons in the closet. He can pick on the victimless crime issue, but that's not a big problem. Moonlighting might be.
Moonlighting?
Oh, come on, Tom. Men were moonlighting when you had my job. It didn't just happen when I took over.
If Cardulo brings it up, I won't be able to help you. You'll be on your own. Don't let him catch you with your pants... I mean...
Forewarned is forearmed.
A thing like that.
That's a dirty word, Rod. I'll wash my mouth out with soap. Now, how many men?
Look, if any of my men are moonlighting, I wouldn't want to know about it. So I don't know about it. Look, you don't want to make waves, Rod. I mean, how long do you think she can last?
Listen, I don't care about that. Now, I got a job to do, Eddie. Look, don't fight me on it. Look, take an interest. You're a division commander. No one's gonna haul you before a review board. And I need to know some answers.
Is that a promise about the review board?
Yes. Sure it is.
Mrs. DeLuca? My name is Amy Prentiss. That's right. I wonder if you could spare me a half hour tomorrow morning? Yes, I think it's important, Mrs. DeLuca. Thank you. I'll see you then. Yes, Joan. Go ahead, Sergeant.
We've got a bombing, Chief. Grayson's junkyard, 2 casualties.
Notify the bomb squad and follow up yourself.
Okay, Chief, I'll take care of it.
Good. And keep me informed.
I want you to see the view of the harbor at the other end of the terrace.
Oh, look at that bay. It's beautiful, Ross.
Hello. Nice place you have here. Any back doors?
Several. Miss Castle, Mr. Parkins.
How do you do?
I don't recall having invited you, Lieutenant.
An oversight on your part, I'm sure. He keeps not wanting to talk to me.
Well, Ross does have marvelous taste.
Besides, Lieutenant, in the last month you've become practically a permanent fixture at my place of work. I'm tired of talking to you.
Perhaps it's because you have something to hide.
Ridiculous.
Where were you 2 a.m. the day before yesterday?
Right here. Asleep.
My instinct tells me you're lying. It says you were with Jess Tatum, that you killed him. I don't know how you killed him, but you did. And when I find out how, I'm gonna nail you for murder 1.
You're becoming obsessional, Lieutenant. I didn't kill anyone. I'm sure your investigation will prove that.
Murderers make mistakes. Perhaps yours is arrogance.
Well, there's nothing left for me to do, Lieutenant, but offer you a drink. Oh. By the way, when you see Amy again, give her my regards. Thank you.
Well, why don't you and I find a nice quiet corner someplace? I'll let you play with my handcuffs. So what's all this harassment, Chuck? All I did was knock on the door. The man let me in. He even offered me a drink.
According to his lawyer, you accused him of murder in the presence of at least a dozen of his friends.
Yeah, and I was right.
Well, I don't know that, neither does anybody else. Meanwhile, Rod's had to handle all your fallout.
Oh, I'll send him flowers. Aren't you gonna put a good word in for me, old buddy? No? So what's the point of this little chat?
If Whitman's a murderer, put your money where your mouth is. In case you're interested, I double-checked with the medical examiner. He stands behind
I
me.
know, cardiac arrest. The man's a quack.
Where's your proof, Bill?
I'll get it.
I look forward to seeing it.
Oh, by the way, he asked me to say hello to Amy.
If you're suggesting that my friendship with him is influencing my judgment, this is the time to say it.
All I did was pass on a message. Thanks for the help, old buddy.
Hello, give me the news desk. It's important. Yeah. You know that story about the explosion on page 3? Yeah, that's the one. Well, I just want to tell you something. I did it. Yeah, how about that? And then... Oh, I'm calling from the top of the Empire State Building. Now listen, there's gonna be another explosion today. I want everybody to know that. And it's gonna... Oh, sure, I'm gonna tell you where it is, right? It's gonna be about 4:30. We'll make that 4:30 on the dot. Is that okay with you? Okay. Why? Never mind about why. You're gonna find out soon enough. Nosy character.
All right, everybody, outside, outside. You got bicycles, roller skates, sun is shining, out, out. 5 minutes more, they'll be right back inside. Do you have children, Chief Prentiss?
Yes, I have a daughter. I appreciate you taking the time to see me, Mrs. DeLuca.
So, tell me why you've come, Chief Prentiss.
Well, frankly, I feel there's a lot of hostility directed toward me from the wives of the men I work with. The cancellation of my speech is an example. I want to get to the bottom of it.
Here.
Thank you.
You're a nice woman, Mrs. Prentiss. So I'm going to talk to you as I would a friend. Tell you what the women think. Every morning they wake up and they look at their husband as he puts on his gun. They worry that he'll get hurt or that he won't come home again. I understand you lost your husband in a plane crash, so you know how that feels.
Yes.
In an army, a private and a general have one thing in common. They are men. They share the same experiences as boys, share the same instincts. They trust each other in ways they can never trust a woman.
So these women we're speaking of are afraid that in a life and death situation, my instincts would be inferior to those of a man in a similar position. Do you agree with them?
Let's say that I hope the situation that we are talking about never arises.
The diplomatic corps could use more people like you. Hey, thanks for the coffee. It was delicious.
You're welcome.
Where next?
C&G Industries.
Mobile Unit 33, Mobile Unit 33.
Amy Prentiss.
We We have a notification from the Star News that a man identifying himself as the person who planted the bomb yesterday contacted them. He stated another bomb would be detonated at 4:30 this p.m.
Any details?
Negative 33. We'll keep you advised.
Thanks. 33 clear.
So that's my problem. And my problem is I have a friend who insists on visiting patients with me.
Doc, I haven't got all day.
Oh, let me see if I can understand your question correctly. You want to know how a man can be murdered so that it can be mistaken by a competent physician as a coronary failure.
Right.
And there was no evidence of toxicity, no drug which might have induced the trauma.
None. The man had been drinking. Oh, that rings a bell.
I'm not sure.
Wait a minute. What do you mean you're not sure? When you say you're not sure, that probably means you're sure.
I'd like to think about it. And let's not make any mistake. You are not coming in with me.
Why? Don't your patients like cops?
Does anyone?
I'll wait.
There it is, the best that money can buy. Not that it matters, because the most valuable piece of property in there was stolen. I suppose you plan to apprehend the thief within the hour?
As a matter of fact, no, Mr. Blake. Who do you think stole the plans?
Now, how would I know? You know something? If your detective, who had worked to so little effect for 3 weeks, had canvassed this plant for bugging devices and hidden cameras, as I advised him to do, we wouldn't be sitting here idly speculating.
Lieutenant Parkins had a crew of specialists inside the building within 24 hours of your call. They found nothing.
Well, I didn't notice them.
You weren't supposed to. Suppose we work on the assumption that whoever stole the plans had access to your safe.
That would be Whitman or Carson.
And yourself, of course.
And myself. You mean that you think that I... That's preposterous. Mrs. Prentiss, that wrench was worth millions to this firm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Blake, but it's my understanding that you were forced to liquidate your C&G industry stock last March to cover your losses on the commodities market.
All right. What of it?
Then, if C&G had in fact produced the wrench, you wouldn't have participated in the profits, but you could have realized a considerable profit by selling the plans to a competitor. It's beautiful.
Chicken supreme. Is that okay? It was the easiest recipe.
Terrific. 3 places.
Surprise.
Ross.
He dropped by and I persuaded him to stay for supper.
Not that she exactly had to twist my arm, you understand.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Look what else he brought, Mom.
Some things in the cellar. I knew I had it somewhere. I thought you'd like it.
It's lovely. Who else is starving?
Was I wrong in coming?
Not if it's social. No.
Then I was wrong. Because I'm trying to find out just exactly what makes a detective tick.
Well, since I'm a detective, Ross, I may not be too objective about that. But if you're referring to Bill Parkins, he's got one of the best records on the force. And may I say, the chicken is darn good.
And then some?
And then some.
Revelations that the wives of many city detectives are opposed to the tenure of Chief Prentiss have lent credence to the growing groundswell.
Credence?
Credence to the growing groundswell of belief that the department can be in better hands.
What?
Said Councilman Ernest Cardulo, currently running for re-election in the 7th District. Councilman went on to express his belief that the entire police department might benefit from a thorough house cleaning. How's it feel to be famous, Mom?
Very self-conscious. Run along, you'll be late. I'll be late, then I won't be famous anymore.
Have a nice day.
Bye, honey, I love you. You too. Good morning.
Morning, Chief.
Any word on yesterday's bombing from the lab?
0.
I think that's going to become our #1 priority, Rod. Every available man, criminal conspiracy, intelligence, borrow wherever you have to.
Done.
Anything in this morning's paper?
The usual.
We must read different editions.
Well, if you read it already, why'd you ask?
Because I wanted your opinion, which I don't seem to be getting much of these days. How's it going with the moonlighting business?
I'm working on it.
It's important, Rod. I'm not going to let Cardulo get elected over my body.
Could do worse.
Mr. Preston, I'm Amy Prentiss.
Yeah?
Perhaps I should come back when you're working.
Perfectly all right. You already broke my concentration. You're here because C&G are screaming we stole their plans. We didn't. We invented that wrench.
With a little help from your friends?
You know what free enterprise is?
I think so.
The law of the jungle?
There is none.
You're wrong, lady. It's dog eat dog, kill or be killed. I don't plan on dying for a long time.
I hope you're not disappointed, Mr. Preston. Meanwhile, we're going to look through your plant, with your permission.
Oh, say, did you happen to read the morning paper today? That Cardula's a good man. I voted for him. Need a new job, drop by. You can take shorthand, that is.
I'm afraid shorthand is not among my skills, Mr. Preston. And let me tell you something else about the jungle. In most cases, it's the female who does the hunting.
This is car 5 Henry 23, requesting any black and white. I've got a speeder on Bay near Gough, heading north.
the speed limit, sir. May I see your driver's license, please?
Of course, officer. You can write the ticket. The keys are in the ignition. You can keep the car as ransom. I'll be right back. All right, Lieutenant, get out of the car.
Is this a bust?
It's a bust, all right. I'm gonna bust you right in the mouth.
Oh, dear. I wouldn't do that if I were you. See, two things can happen. One is you'll break your hand. And the second is I'll arrest you for assaulting a police officer. I may even have to shoot you in self-defense.
You're pretty proud of your little games, aren't you? Well, I'm tired of your harassment, and I'm gonna have your badge for it.
Wrong. I found out how you killed Tatum. I've never heard of anybody doing that. That's very clever of you. Why don't you make life easier for both of us and confess? And make life easier for Amy, too.
You're a monomaniac, Lieutenant. You should be behind walls.
See, that's my problem. I'd lose all my self-respect if I let my chief hobnob with a killer.
So that's it. Well, your jealousy is groundless. Amy Prentiss and I are old friends, and that's all. In any case, you wouldn't stand the chance.
I may not get you today or tomorrow, but I'm gonna shake you and shake you until you break.
Fill it up. Oh, yeah, Channel 3. Let me talk to Mary. Well, the one who does the weather. I got a story for her. Yeah. I know. I recognize your voice. I watch you every night on TV. Well, sure, it's the biggest story you'll ever have because I'm the guy that set off those explosions. We ain't prove it. I can't prove it to you. You're just gonna have to trust me. Isn't that a laugh? Okay, take this down. I'm the bomber, and if the city doesn't come up with $1 million in the next 48 hours, at the time and place of my choice,
Just came in from Channel 3. I am the bomber. I am holding the city for ransom.
$1 million or less. Joan, call the lab and tell them I want results. Rod, get the coop list and put some men on it.
I'll check in with you later.
You told me to see Carson at C&G. I did. He's so straight, he's two-dimensional. I don't figure he sold the wrench. I don't think he had it in him.
Unless the cash sale paid more than his royalties.
Well, it leaves us with 3 men. Blake, Carson, and Whitman, who all had possible motives.
What's Ross Whitman's?
Same as all the others. Greed. According to Bill's report, Whitman supports a very flashy lifestyle. Fun costs money.
Cardullo's in the building. Mary Prairie just passed him, didn't say where he was headed.
Locker room. Judas Priest? Hey, you creeps. The chief's on her way.
Hello, Chief. What a coincidence.
Councilman Cardullo, we don't have the pleasure very often. I'd like you to meet Detective Russell.
A pleasure.
Well, What would you like to see?
Oh, nothing specific, Chief. To tell you the truth, I should get around here more often. I am overdue.
Yes, it amazes me how you manage to stay so well informed. Please, let me show you around.
There is no need for this. I'll take a walk just by myself.
Oh, I insist. I wouldn't want to seem a poor hostess.
Don't you think you better knock first?
My men and I have nothing to hide from each other.
I'm a little out of practice.
You've got a good eye. It's your technique that needs work.
Oh, perhaps you can give me some pointers. Here we go. 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Thank you. Stance. Address. Arm flexion.
Mm-hmm.
Concentration. Of course, in the field, there's an additional factor. When to draw a gun and whom to point it at.
You make it sound like politics.
Well, let's just say I dislike being a target.
But you're the only target in town, Amy.
Am I? Care to try again?
I'd love to, but I missed an appointment.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Perhaps some other time then.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Tony.
Anytime, Chief. Anytime.
See you in the morning. Okay, Chief.
Amy?
Hello, Ross. Something wrong?
Well, I'm sorry to invade the sanctum like this, but I gotta talk to you. Can I apologize for my rudeness over scotch and soda?
Sure.
And the man is a maniac. He's tried everything in his power to make a shambles of my life.
Your attorney's registered a complaint, Ross. Parkins has been reprimanded.
Apparently it didn't take.
Apparently.
Are you saying you can't help me?
Ross, he considers you a suspect in a theft that took place at your company.
Oh, well, that I could tolerate. What I find unbearable is that the man thinks I killed someone. Our nerves betray us as we age, Amy. I don't think I have the stamina to deal with a madman.
What do you remember about the afternoon before the theft?
Carson brought the plans for the ranch into the boardroom where Blake and I were discussing cutbacks. He laid the plans in front of Blake. I glanced at them over his shoulder. One look, we knew we had a gold mine. We congratulated Carson. Blake locked the plans up in the safe.
So you never even touched them?
I left right away. Carson and Blake were still in the plant when I left. I'm sorry I've sounded off, Amy. I just had to get it off my chest, and I'm afraid you were the prime candidate.
It's all right. I understand.
Hello? This is Ferguson at the lab, Chief. You asked us to call as soon as we had a make on the bombs.
I'm listening.
First bomb didn't leave much behind. There was so much scrapmetal affected, but we've identified the second. The guys found themselves some military shells.
You mean like grenades?
No, bigger.
Okay. Thanks.
Lab, Ferguson.
You mean like cannon shells?
That's right.
Thank you. Rod? Amy. Those weren't bombs, Rod. They were artillery shells. There's some maniac out there with a howitzer.
Yeah, good magnifying glass is worth its weight in gold.
Lieutenant, you have the mentality of a terrorist.
Don't be so coy. You know what I'm doing. I'm looking for small indentations that might be made by a tightly drawn rope. I'm looking for particles of hemp, sisal, nylon, or rope itself. And when I'm finished here, I'll start downstairs.
Lieutenant, there is a God. I hope he shows you some mercy.
It's justice here on Earth that I'm interested in.
Will you tell JB that I can't make that meeting? I think I'm coming down with that virus that's going around. I'll call you from home later, all right?
I'll see you later.
Are you certain this man has a cannon out there?
Yes, Mr. Councilman.
The primary question is whether we should accede to the demand of $1 million.
Impossible. We'd set a precedent that would leave us open to every kind of freaking opportunist.
Suppose we appeared to go along with him, and then...
That's too hazardous. If he suspected or managed to evade us, there's no telling what he might do. We're not dealing with a rational mind.
Well, I think that information Chief Prentiss has given us should not be released. I mean, there's a possibility of mass panic. The people out there knew that a cannon shell could be lobbed into their backyard at random.
Agreed. I'm sure that the police will be able to handle the situation.
As long as the police have come up, I'm going to take this occasion to put certain matters relating to the department into the record. It is the Detective Bureau that troubles me the most. The rise of crime in general, and the present inattention paid to prostitution and other so-called victimless crimes. In addition, there is a problem of moonlighting.
Gentlemen, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do, much as Councilman Cardulo's accusations interest me.
Of course, Chief Prentiss. Thank you for coming.
Before I leave, I'd like to make my position clear. For the record, the department does not recognize the term victimless crime, only felonies and misdemeanors. It is my policy, as it was policy previous to my promotion, to place greater emphasis on the investigation of felonies. But by no means should it be thought that misdemeanors are ignored. And I'm sure we all agree that given the choice, it is in the community interest, and it is more important for an officer to prevent a murder than to write a parking ticket. As for moonlighting, the problem is non-existent.
You quite sure that, Chief Prentiss?
If any officer in my command is currently engaged in moonlighting, I'll submit my resignation.
All right, gentlemen, let us get on with it.
Moms, you were beautiful. You really told him where to get off, Chief. You got a dime? It's a good thing you said currently engaged in moonlighting.
What difference does it make?
Because after I make this phone call, you'll be right.
Yes, Joan. Thanks. Hello, Ross?
Amy? Amy, it's Ross. That when you see him, you tell him something. I'm never gonna see him. I'm never gonna see anyone.
Ross? Ross!
I'll look in later, Mr. Whitman. He's going to be all right. You can see him now.
Thank you.
Don't tell Jill.
Of course I won't.
Thank you.
The only unaccounted for howitzer in this state was stolen from the Sacramento Armory 4 years ago, along with a 155 recoilless rifle and a whole bunch of automatics.
Get the roster of the guard unit stationed there. Back it up 10 years. Check them out. Get as many men as you need to help. Anybody living in the Bay Area gets special treatment.
Oh, it's gonna be a long night.
Well, he's got a truck that narrows the field. Cross-check the names with truck rental companies.
Truck?
You want to see me?
Well, you don't haul a howitzer around the back of a Winnebago. Yes, come in.
Hi, old buddy. Bill?
You're lucky. Whitman's gonna pull through.
Sure he is. He staged the whole thing.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. I was getting too close. Couldn't take the pressure. He had to do something, so he faked a suicide.
You're off the case, Bill.
Don't give me this off the case, Junk. I'm gonna pin murder one on that cheap.
Do I have to suspend you, Lieutenant?
Get out. I know how he killed Tatum.
The medical examiner.
I know. It's a cardiac arrest. Well, you can induce that. Listen, in the 19th century, medical students experimented with cadavers. When they didn't have enough, they'd help Mother Nature a little bit. Here's the M.O. They'd go down to Skid Row. They'd find some drunk bum. They'd feed him some more liquor. Then they'd stand him up, see? So he couldn't get off his feet, couldn't lie down. Lots of alcohol, right? With capillary expansion, force of gravity, the blood pools at the lower extremity. The heart is weakened, right? It can't adequately pump that blood to the rest of the body. It collapses under the strain. You get it? The heart quits. Bingo, you got a dead man. That's how he killed Tatum. And I've got a full professor of medicine to back me up.
Can you prove Tatum didn't die of a real heart attack?
My instincts...
Instincts aren't worth a damn in court. Can you prove it? You're off the case.
The hell you say?
Then you'll be up on charges. I mean it, Bill. Don't push me.
Okay. Okay, you're the boss. You know why you're acting this way, don't you?
Bill, I don't want to fight any personal battles with you. Now or ever.
They're unavoidable, Amy.
I don't think so.
Don't think of me as the enemy, because I'm not.
Thank you.
Good luck on this bomber thing.
You want to help?
No. I'll think of something to keep me busy. By the way, did you know that one of the boys has a nude centerfold on his locker door with your face pasted on the top of the neck?
I hope it's a great body.
Sure is. It's Burt Reynolds.
Chief, halfway down the list. 300 names, 15% of them own trucks. We got men in the field checking, but so far nothing to run with.
Keep going.
I had to pull Judge Taylor out of bed this morning, poured a quart of coffee down his throat, but I got the warrants right here.
Great, let's get on it.
This is my original drawing. Now, Rocketware will have a duplicate, or they'll have something like it.
What do you think this is, Fisherman's Wharf?
This is a search warrant, Mr. Preston.
Search for what?
We'll start with your safe. I assume you have one?
They already looked. Are you guys serious? You actually take orders from this broad?
Couple of beers.
You couldn't tail a rubber duck in a bathtub. What'd she tell you?
Hey, I don't know.
Come on. She put you up to it, didn't she?
Hey, that's a little early for the suds, ain't it?
It's my business. Here. Look, we've been cool with each other for 5 years, right? How many times have I saved your butt? You're either with me or against me. Which?
Hey, life's hard enough without...
Now, which?
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay, do yourself a favor. Go fishing, go feed the bears, anything. She'll never know. It's my day off. I want to spend it alone. Capiche?
Yeah, sure, Bill.
Okay, kid. Keep your eyes open. Peace. An offer. Pledge of sincerity. A tribute. Here, take it. Hey, Whitman, I want to ask you a question. You got a drink in there for me?
Lieutenant, I've got a feeling that this visit is more than just a desire for drink.
You know, you're right. Scotch, if you have. Yeah, I suppose you haven't heard, huh?
What?
I'm off the case. Your case.
No, I hadn't heard. I can't say that I'm sorry.
Well, you're joining me. That's good. Shows you don't hold a grudge. Johnny Unitas, greatest quarterback that ever lived. You know, if you had died, all those pills, I'd never have forgiven myself. So I wanted you to know that.
Well, that's decent of you, Lieutenant.
Well, think nothing of it. Johnny Unitas. Nobody could call a game the way he could. Great tactician, you know? Great tactician. Him, MacArthur, Napoleon, you.
It's rather high-powered company.
Yeah, but you're right up there with them, boy. From the beginning, you took me over the course like a schoolboy. Whipped me good. I gotta hand you that.
Lieutenant, I don't think I quite understand.
Sure you do. Come on, we understand each other, you and me. Win, lose, it's a game that counts, right?
Lieutenant, one of the things the doctors prescribed for me was a lot of fresh air. How about the two of us going out and getting some?
We'll take my car.
Absolutely not.
No, I insist. Besides, if we get stopped, I have this. Oops. That's mine.
Mr. Sullivan?
I ain't buying nothing.
Sergeant Contreras, 1st Division. Were you a member of the 5th Battalion Reserve?
That's right.
Do you own a truck, sir?
Yeah, that's right.
Where is the truck at this time, sir?
I don't know. My brother-in-law borrowed it for a couple of days.
Is he a member of the reserves, Mr. Sullivan?
Yeah, sure. What's going on?
We're just taking a survey. Would you mind giving us his name and address and a description of the truck?
It's a nice, quiet place. I come here when I need to think.
Oh, that's very nice. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Must have set you back quite a bundle, huh?
Have another, Lieutenant.
No, I couldn't.
Oh, of course you
No,
can.
I
insist.
All right, I could. It's very generous. You are very generous. Anybody ever tell you you're very generous?
Well, if they did, I've forgotten.
Well, you are. Here's to old Johnny U. He sure could play ball, couldn't he?
You know, I like your style, Lieutenant. Huh? Tell me, if I'm the quarterback, the tactician, who are you? What position do you play?
Who cares? I'm on the sidelines now.
Even so, there's always another ball game, isn't there?
Well,
I'd say that you were a lineman. And after the ball is snapped, you've got just one thing on your mind. Quarterback, huh? I mean, knock him down, huh?
Yeah, get him!
Set him! I think they call that kind of a player a headhunter, don't they?
Yeah, hey, I like
Nothing.
Same. Washrooms,
Yeah, paper towels, that's all.
secretary's desks.
I checked those out. Listen, maybe he's got a strong box in his house or a bank vault someplace.
We may have to go that route. Wait here, Mr. Carson.
Nothing, right? What'd I tell you? Cops. You go around giving innocent people trouble when there's some kind of maniac out there, bombing the whole city.
Rod.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Mr. Carson.
That's it.
Did you think keeping this would give you some kind of blackmail protection? Mistake.
You got nothing on me.
Amy Prentiss, I want the position of Sergeant Russell and the time he last checked in.
Here's to Sid Luckman, another great ball player.
Hasn't this gone far enough, Lieutenant? Now, come on now, you're drunk. It's my turn to make a move now, isn't it? You expect me to take advantage of your condition? Recreate Tatum's death with you in the starring role? Don't you?
Said you were clever and arrogant.
And don't forget generous.
Oh, yeah.
Go back and play your games where you belong. I'm out of your league.
Well, that's what we're gonna find out, aren't we, Ross? You don't mind if I call you Ross, do you, Ross? Because you're right about me. I'm a headhunter, and I'm gonna get yours. Maybe I'll have to quit the force to do it. If it takes me 50 years, I'm gonna nail you in the end. You're gonna spend the rest of your life with me stepping on your heels.
You would do that, wouldn't you, Lieutenant?
You're damn right.
You know, Lieutenant, my problem is that you're in excellent physical condition. And you're a little too young to have a heart attack. So...
What are you doing here?
You think? I'm a freak. What about you? It's supposed to be your day off. Caprice?
Book him for grand larceny and suspicion of murder.
Not here right now.
Did he take the truck, ma'am?
Oh, yeah. He's been driving it ever since our car busted.
And how long has that been, Mrs. Feeney?
Oh, 4 or 5 days. Why, is something wrong?
No, nothing's happened to him.
Oh.
Juco.
Bye, man.
I want all units on standby red. We've got 30 minutes before he pulls the trigger. Concentrate on sector Exeter 3.
Exeter 3 confirmed. All units, Exeter 3 is area of concentration. Repeat, Exeter 3.
The airport?
Just a hunch. Parkins would call it instinct.
Sure, just like covering Bill with Tony. They've been tight for a long time. How'd you know he'd go along with you?
I didn't.
A lot of noise at the airport. Maybe enough to cover the sound of a cannon going off.
This is Chopper 3. I have visual contact with the suspect's truck.
contact at 7905 by 617 on Exeter 3.
This is Unit 12, Chopper 3. I copy. We have 15 minutes before his deadline.
You in at poker too?
All bands open. All units ban out. Stay out of his line of fire. He's got an automatic weapon.
Right, I got you. There's no way inside the rear. If we're gonna take him, we're gonna take him to the front door.
Negative, and pass the word. I'll bust the first man who fires his weapon without permission.
Amy, he's got an automatic rifle in there.
He's got a cannon, too. I don't want him getting mad at us and taking it out on the whole city.
Mr. Feeney, can you hear me? We would like you to come out, sir. Nothing will happen. Throw out your weapon and come out. Mr. Feeney, throw out your weapon. Your wife is on her way. She wants you to give up, Mr. Feeney. Can you hear me, Mr. Feeney?
I hear you. Now you hear me. I got a 155 millimeter recoilless rifle, and it's pointed at the airport control tower. I want a car and a plane and some money. And if it's not here in 10 minutes, I'm gonna blow up the tower and everything else.
Mr. Feeney, there isn't enough time.
You know what? We could get killed out here.
Any ideas?
There's a SWAT team on the way. Let them handle it.
Fine. If they get here in 9 minutes. If they don't, it's our job.
What the?
Got yourself a little standoff, eh, Chief?
Get out of here.
Katrina? I think I'm entitled to hear your plans, if you have any. That man is a killer, and if he fires that cannon, people are gonna die, and you will be responsible.
I don't want to see anyone killed, Mr. Councilman. Not one of my men. Not him. Not even you. Rod, if he says another word, arrest him for obstructing justice.
It'll be my pleasure. Mike? Anything more you want to say? Get him out of here.
Yeah, Chief.
I understand in your spare time you become familiar with heavy machinery.
I know a little bit about it.
Enough to hot wire a skip loader?
Hey, out there! I mean it! You got 7 minutes and then the tower goes!
Who's the best shot we've got out here?
O'Brien, probably.
Get him.
O'Brien, on the double! Give up, Pete! There's nothing left to bargain with! Now come out quietly!
He comes out shooting. Take him.
She did it. I'll be damned. She did it.
Councilman, would you care to comment about what you've seen this afternoon?
No. No, I think the police did, an adequate job.
Good luck in the election, Councilman.
Thank you.
Not bad shooting for a man with 2 jobs.
One job.